What's going on, Washington Commanders Nation? Today, I'd like to welcome to the show former Washington Redskins cornerback, 15th in franchise history in interceptions, and one of the hosts of the Command Center and Get Loud podcast, the Mouth of the South, Fred Smoot. What's going on, big dog?
Man, I'm good, Rio. What's up, brother? I came here to calm down the fan base. That's why I'm here. I came here to lend an olive branch to the fans to let them know what's going on so they don't lose their mind because we 0-1.
We definitely need that. I know Fred is a glass half full kind of guy. He's going to preach the gospel. He's going to spread the positivity. Last time Fred was on the show, we were out here deliberating if the team name was going to be Red Wolves. It was so long ago. We are 100 quarterbacks later, a new regime. What were your main observations and takeaways from week one?
Well, I think everything goes about what's your expectations. My expectations were I'm seeing something that's being built by ground zero. Like I was telling you, at the end of the day, it's a new era, a new head coach, a new quarterback, a new GM. And I think everybody got so happy and so high off of that sugar high, that they wanted us to just come out and beat a team that went to the playoff last year, re-signed their quarterback, has a Hall of Fame wide receiver, has Vita Vea in the middle, has Antoine Winfield at safety, and they actually have games under their belt where that entire team has played together. We have a team that's 70% new. If you include rookie and free agents, this was these guys' first 4 quarters of football together. Yes, the first 4. I don't know if y'all all been in a church choir, but the first time we sung on Sunday, it didn't sound like the 5th Sunday. That's all I'm saying.
Notes wasn't hitting like they were supposed to. And that's a good point, because no, I'm not trying to compare Dan Quinn to who you call the Joe Jackson Gibbs, but I'm not sure if this starving ass fan base could endure an 0-5 start. Right? What do you think it would be like if they got off and lost their first 5 games of the season?
Well, you just brought up the Joseph. Coach Gibbs lost his first 5 games. Like, Bill Belichick lost his first 7. Andy Reid lost his first 4. Like, you have to give these coaches time to implement their plan. They can't put in a full playbook in one offseason. They can't reshape a roster in one offseason. They can't put their own touch on the team in 6 months. Like, the one thing I say about this is what we got to do as a fan base. When I say a fresh start, it's no fresher than this one. Teams don't usually get a new owner and new head coach and new everything all at once. All right, so we had to give them time to bake this cake. This will not be microwavable. We're going to have to give them time to do it like grandma used to do it. It takes time and love to get that to fruition. Like, so at the end of the day, temper down your expectations and enjoy watching it grow.
Yep, and I think another thing we fail to mention is week one is just wacky league-wide. I've seen a lot of wacky-ass results, bad offensive production. As a former player, did week one results really get to y'all? Like, what did y'all feel about the first game of the season coming off the preseason?
Well, here's the thing about week one. It's that week where every team is trying to find themselves and find their identity and what is our identity. And it's actually paralysis by over-analysis. Like, everybody's going to take week one and say the Patriots are going to the Super Bowl because they beat Joe Burrow. No, they're not. Like, people are going to lose it because the Jets lost to the 49ers. I could have sworn the 49ers was in the Super Bowl last year. That's a great measuring stick. Teams don't really catch their groove to the 3rd, 4th, 5th week. So where everybody else sees this micro, we're looking at the big picture. Like, even if you're talking about our roster as Commanders, we're looking to get better week in and week out. We want to be better than we was last Saturday. All right? The coaches are troubleshooting now, seeing who needs to play in certain situations. They can only know that by going out there and playing games.
So what were the main, like, let's start on the defensive side of the ball. We had Baker out there looking like prime Tom Brady, and when he was scrambling, he was looking like a combination of Mahomes and Lamar Jackson. Like, per usual, we're getting close to the quarterback. We're sniffing his air, but we're not able to finish or force incompletions. What was your takeaways of the defense, and how would you grade them on Sunday?
Well, you know what? What would the Browns do to have Baker Mayfield right now?
Oh, my God.
What would they give? Listen, Baker has went through a maturation. Baker has been blessed by the waters of football. He understands the game. The game is slowing down to him. Like, when players find a home, we play better. Like the one thing you could say about Baker was he was comfortable. He understood every check in that playbook. He understood when he was going to get it to Godwin, when he was going to take it upstairs to Mike Evans. You get that because they got reps together. You get that because you got a wide receiver that has 10,000-yard seasons consecutively. All right? That's what made Baker Mayfield look so good, playing against a defense that were returning 4 starters. All right? So that means 7 other guys are new that has to play. Frankie Louvu has to play with Wagner. Wagner has to play with John Allen to see where he wants to fit. So it's this growing thing that we got to sit back and we got to be patient and watch it grow. But Baker did his thing. I give him that.
He did. And like you said, he's had a bit of a career metamorphosis. He almost went along that track of being a career journeyman when he made pit stops in LA and Carolina, where that was never going to work out. You mentioned a Hall of Famer in Mike Evans. Chris Godwin in the slot has 3 straight 1,000-yard receiving seasons. That rookie Jalen McMillan got some speed on him, and they got a couple good running backs with rookie Bucky Irvin and Rashad White. So they got some pieces on that side.
And don't you forget they got a Pro Bowler at Tucker and Tristan Wirfs. They just drafted a center Barton in the first round. That team is put together very well while everybody trying to just hand the Falcons the NFC South.
Yep, they're trying to hand it to him on a platter, and boy, was it a Kirk Cousins classic in week 1 for the Atlanta Falcons. But I'm looking at the secondary. We've been beating them up. We've been, and your boy Emmanuel Forbes, Benjamin St. Juice, Mikey Sanders-Steele, even Mikey, who we have so much excitement about. He was struggling versus Chris Godwin on Sunday. Benjamin
would you not expect that, Rio?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Expect the savvy vet to try to take the rookie down through there?
Oh, yeah.
Would you not expect, because this is the other 2 guys' first time playing in this defense, they'll be a little step behind trying to figure out what, where, and when? Like, this thing will not happen overnight. And I understand the fan base wants to say this one thing, but we have been through the last 25 years. I'm sorry. The new ownership wasn't here for the last 25 years. All right? Dan Quinn was not here for the last 25 years. All right, they're not on our schedule. They're on a schedule that gets them to the point where we don't have 1 year of success. We have consecutive years of success. Yes, so I think what we need to do is really start to look at the big picture and try not to judge them on every week's performance. We're not put it like this. Calendar-wise, we're not where Philadelphia is. Philadelphia has the pressure right now winning the Super Bowl because they have a Super Bowl roster. All right, the window is now. All right, well, our arrow is pointing up, but I don't think the window is now.
Not just yet. And Tampa, you can see the difference between a team that has established rapport and chemistry, because Tampa's offense, they're reigning in a new offense as well. Their offensive coordinator, Dave Canales, left to take the head coaching job in Carolina. So they're working in a new system and new kinks as well. And they were fine-tuning it, but they have continuity all around their team. They returned 10 of 11 starters on defense and most of their starters on offense. It's the same group. Washington just played its first week together, but I think the main thing that brings back PTSD on Sunday was all the miscommunications, all the coverage busts.
Was you not expecting that in the first game of a new regime? Were you not saying I'm gonna give him at least 5 mulligans because I know it won't go as smooth as I think it will go. You look at any first-time coaches and how they debut went. It wasn't how they wanted it to go because it's still so much growing that has to be done. Like even with Jaden Daniels, as good as I thought he played, all right, he's going to learn as time go. Yes, I'm going to run out of this pocket, but instead of running to run, I'm going to run to pass. All right, that's the next level of his maturation when it comes to turning into that quarterback into a triple threat. All right, right now he's a dual threat. That means I can throw it or I can run it. When he added that extra layer to it and said, I'm really getting out this pocket to get these routes time to undress themselves, and now I'm attack, that's when you see him go and take it to the next level.
And that is a great point you just made. Talk the fans off the ledge, and when it comes to Emmanuel Forbes,
Yeah,
your alma mater's own Mississippi State
yeah,
Bulldog, he was supposed to be an interception machine like
yeah.
yourself. I know a lot of people like to sleep on your production in this league. You came out smoking 5
Yeah.
picks in your rookie season, 4 the next year, 4 the next year, and then 3 on the last year of your rookie deal. Why haven't we seen instant success? And is it a technique thing? Is it morale? Is it confidence? What have you seen with Emmanuel Forbes so far?
I think the technique most definitely improved. Like the coaching he had last year did not emphasize technique. Also, if you are you a big baseball fan?
I'm a good enough baseball fan. Yeah.
Have you seen a hitter like Aaron Judge get the yips? Have you seen that? Like Aaron Judge can't hit a ball in April and then May comes and he finds it
Oh
again.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's similar to that. Emmanuel Forbes is one play away from being back who we thought he was. Like sometimes as a DB, we need to touch that ball to get all of the dark cloud away from over you. You know, he got a fan base that's weighing in on him because a lot of people wanted the offensive lineman. Some people wanted Christian Gonzalez. So time he makes a mistake. And the one thing about a DB's life, y'all love us one day, y'all hate us the next. All right. I can go 4 quarters and shut down Randy Moss, and if he beats me on the last play of the game,
You're trash.
I'm the worst DB to ever play the game. So we got thick skin. We understand our position. We understand what we go through. He understands that, and that's why I think he's hungry to get that first play to really shed off all the negativity. But the thing about it, if I had to say one thing going on with him, he's thinking too much.
Yeah, that's
He's
what
thinking
you
too
can
much.
see that. You can see
He's
that.
thinking too much, and he's in his own head. Like the one thing about DBs, we really like cats. We respond to things differently. All right. And what I want him to do is get mentally out of his own head and just go play football and let the game come to him. Like he just let the game come to you. The matchups will be there, the throws will be there. And as you see, St. Juice on the other side, you know, he had his hands full with Mike Evans. So it was just one of those things where they caught us off guard. They had a very good game plan, and they executed it because they got a quarterback that's been there, done that, seen all the coverages that we showed them, and they found a way to exploit them because they have time spent together. So where they were supposed to run the 7 route, Mike Evans going to tell them, no, I'm going to sit it down. If that corner keep going out there, that's the communication they have and the leverage they have over them. But when it comes to Emmanuel Forbes, we need to support him. I'm going to be honest. It's like having a kid that all your other kids make A's, and I got one that makes F's. I need to put more time in it with the one that makes F's because evidently something's not going on right there. So if I can get him mentally out of his own head and I can get him to touch that ball one time, I think everything else will work itself out with Emmanuel Forbes.
So to make that happen, do you think it's more of a scheme thing or a him thing? Do they need to scheme up him to be in the right place to go jump a route, or a little bit of combination of both?
I think it's more of just, like I said, don't make the game bigger than it already is. All right, goes out there, trust your coach. Here go the thing about it. Coaches want to keep themselves hired. All right, the players are the way you keep yourself hired. If you get the top play out of player, that makes you a great coach. So believe me, they doing everything they can to get good play out of him, and they truly do believe in him. Like I said, he need that one hit. He need that one home run and see it go over the gate before everything changes.
Hell yeah, it's also like a 3-point shooter in basketball. Once you see
Yeah.
that net splash the first time, it's on and popping again.
Yeah, it's good. I believe in myself again.
Hell yeah. Switching over to the offensive side of the ball. No. One more in the secondary. Do you feel like something needs to be added in that cornerback room, or do we need to make shit shake with what we already have on the roster?
We're going to have to live with what we got. We're going to have to live with what we got. We're going to have to understand roster cannot be flipped. Like, I'm sorry. Premium cover corners are not out there on the market right now.
Right.
All right. We can't find a Deion Sanders on anybody's couch right now. You're not finding a Darrell Reeves, a Champ Bailey. It's just not happening. They don't grow on trees. We got to take these guys we got to nurture them. We got to coach them through their ups and downs. We got to figure out what they do well and what they don't do well. And I think that's what this coaching staff is figuring out so they can then put them in the best position. So at the end of the day, it's us. Like I say, it's our process because they got a process. And they're going to be disciplined to their process. And they will not be forced to be on our time schedule.
Hell yeah. And the defense, I think I'm going to try to chalk up week 1 to week 1 wackies. We played a better football team, and that Tampa Bay sun was kicking our ass. I seen people huffing
Yeah.
and puffing, sucking wind out there. That Tampa Bay humidity was wicked,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, Mother Nature works its course. That's what home field advantage is about. And I want to give it up to the fans because we took over that stadium. The fans were there. But I also talked to a lot of fans that said that the sun, because they have them on the west side of the stadium, the sun was baking them, rotisserie them the whole game. So fan base, way to stick in there and ride it out in 100-degree weather.
Hell yeah, the team might have lost on the field, but the fans held it down and take the W for the week. Moving over to the offensive side of the ball, we have a quarterback now, Jaden Daniels, and why it was not the prettiest debut, he was easily the best rookie quarterback that played, and when you look around league-wide throughout how quarterbacks fared on Sunday, he was one of the better performances on Sunday. What did you see from 5 in his debut?
You know what? I seen somebody that feel like they belong to be on the field. I think that's the only thing we want to know. That first game, do I belong out here with these greats that I've been watching for years and years and years? And I think he answered that question to himself. His poise, like he's very poised to be as young as he is. He's very poised to be as inexperienced as he is. To watch him take control of the huddle says everything to me, especially when you're talking about a quarterback. He had some checks in there. I thought he did well. I thought he broke tackles well. I thought when he was asked to push the ball down the field, that one with Terry, I know he wants it back. I know he wanted it back because he's like, if I just put a little bit more air on it there and get Terry just a little bit more space, we got a chance to hit that. But those are the passes that you miss in week 1 that you hit in week 5, all right? Because you've been there and you've done that. So the relationship between Terry and Jaden is just starting. All right. And you know how relationships are. They start off a little rocky to I understand what you like and what you don't like. So one thing about him, I can say this. I want to see him, like I said, get outside the pocket, not just to run, but to throw the ball. I think that's when he's going to really turn into a lethal weapon. But I'm just looking forward to watching him grow each and every week and add a little bit more aspect to his game each and every week. But I'm not going to be quick to anoint him C.J. Stroud. I'm not going to be so quick to say what he's not. But I'm going to say right now, he's really ahead of schedule right now.
Way ahead of schedule. And while we can't call a guy a Hall of Famer after one game or a bust after one game, the guy's probably going to win Rookie of the Week because he ran for almost 90 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, and despite all that hellish pressure Bowles got on him all day, he didn't turn the ball over. That's huge.
I was about to say, the one thing he gets an A+ in is going on the road. Going against a defense, a Todd Bowles defense. Not only Todd Bowles defense, but a defense that's been together a while, that knows how to play this game and did not turn their ball over. That says everything. That says he won. He won't lose you the game. All right? So he's protecting that rock. Football is life. That life is football. And I think he understands that. And he took some shots. All right? Yeah. So there's some times he could have gave up the ball, but he didn't. So as much as he ran to not fumble and lose a fumble and throw into a window that he wasn't supposed to throw into, kudos to him.
Yeah, and as much as we harp on his slide technique, most vicious hits quarterbacks take are right there in the pocket.
What you didn't like about his slide technique, Rio? What didn't you like?
I'm not tripping on it, but the fan base, they don't like that he go head first. They don't like that he look like he in tumbling class when he's trying to get down. As long as he get down, I don't care how I look. But you know, the fan base, they going nitpick, pick, and prod every single thing the quarterback does here.
All right, what was you taught in elementary if you was ever to get caught on fire?
Stop, drop, and roll, baby.
All right, thank you. Stop, drop, and roll. What did he do when people came to him? I'm on fire. I'm going to stop, drop, and roll. All right? All right? So, fan base, don't get mad about that. Just because his technique don't look like somebody else's, I didn't see him get hurt or injured on it.
And we can't keep bringing up all our ex-girlfriends when it comes to the quarterback. We can't compare him to every person that's played quarterback here because if you keep trauma dumping on your current one, she's going to walk out that door. We need Jaden more permanent fixture at the position. I think we were very hard as a fan base on Cliff Kingsbury's debut. And then when you go back and you look at the film, there were a lot more opportunities there than we previously experienced. Our receivers didn't put much output on Sunday. We got all pass catching production from the backs and tight ends. How did you think our skill players fared? on Sunday?
Well, like I said, I understand the situation. I understand Baker Mayfield had his entire playbook at his disposal. We probably gave our rookie 1/4 of the playbook because that's all he can consume right now. All right. And guess where on the road is going to be, especially with the crowd noise going on, going to be your easy completions, tight ends and running backs. All right. And let's give a Buck some credit and understanding that Terry is that number one. We're going to find ways to take him away. We're going to force him to throw to other people. All right, sometimes you got to let the game come to you, and that's what I felt because we talked about turnovers earlier. Like, think about it. If he forced the ball to Terry 9, 8 times, do you think one of those balls get picked off?
Possibly.
Possibly. I would say, all right, so sometimes it ain't what you did, it's what you didn't do. And what he didn't do was put the ball in harm's way by trying to force it to his best weapon.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And that shows maturity. That's a guy that started almost games in college, and you saw it on Sunday. Let's start to turn the page a little bit for week 2. We got the New York Giants, our kryptonite. New York Giants. Daniel Jones, they're trying to run that man out of town in New York right now. What would it mean if Daniel Jones once again cures all ailments versus the Washington Commanders defense?
I don't think it would shock anybody. For some reason, he enjoys playing us. Right? If he played the other 31 teams the way that he plays us, maybe we're talking about the next Patrick Mahomes because he seems to be comfortable playing here, and that's one of the humps that we got to get over. It's called the giant hump. We got to get past it. I think we have the team to do it. I don't think we come here and let Daniel Jones run roughshod around here. I don't think we let him get his first pass and touchdown. I think we're going to force him to win that game from their pocket.
That's what we need to do because he thrives in making things happen with his legs. Like
chaos. He thrives in chaos. We do a good job of causing chaos with that defensive line. Now what we're going to have to do is half rush him like we would do a true running quarterback, meaning rush 3-4 yards up the field and stop. Don't rush all the way to the quarterback. Force him to beat you from the pocket. Now, the one thing we have to start fast when it comes to the New York Giants. The one thing we don't want to do is give Daniel Jones any confidence. Any confidence. It needs to be loud. They don't need to be able to hear cadence. They need to understand it's going to be overall chaos when it comes to this. And just similar to what we had going down to Tampa, we understand Malik Neighbors is their number one. They're still trying to find out their number 2. They're still trying to find out their running back. All right. So we got things working in our favor. The question is, how do we go about causing that chaos when it comes to Daniel Jones?
Since your playing days, how would you set the tone? They got a hot shot, top 7 wide receiver, top 10 pick of the draft, someone Jaden knows very well. How would you set the tone early, and how do we go about limiting his production on Sunday? Because Malik Neighbors is a problem.
Yeah, I hate to tell you about this about wide receivers. There's problems. His problem he has is his quarterback. All right. See, here go the thing about football is people always ask me who's the hardest wide receiver I had to cover, and I'll be like, well, tell me who got the best quarterback. Because if I got to check Randy Moss and Nate Peterman throwing him the ball, I don't have to worry about Randy Moss. All right. So that's the dilemma that Neighbors has right now. He has a quarterback that's losing his confidence while he's trying to come out here and prove that he belongs in this league. Almost a perfect emotional storm per se for us to be playing them in, because you know how quick wide receivers can turn on quarterbacks if things are not going their way. All right. So at the end of the day, that's something that we want to weaponize and use in our favor, and not really going here thinking about Malik Neighbors versus St. Juice or Malik Neighbors versus Emmanuel Forbes. It's actually Malik Neighbors versus Daniel Jones.
Absolutely. And the New York media cannot wait to fire the flames on that. Malik Neighbors already made some comments after the first game about, I don't really know what was going on with the quarterback. He's already doing it. He has that wide receiver diva instinct in him. We need to, who better than Washington to end the reign of Daniel Jones being the New York Giants quarterback?
And that's just a perfect storm right there. All the things he's done to us over the years. Why not us be that team that says, put in DeVito? How about you do that? How about you put in DeVito and we'll just see him play? Like, we want to be that team that does it to him, because at the end of the day, like I said, he's performed well here, and I'm not going to take that away from him. He's performed well at the stadium formerly known as FedEx. He's always had good games against us, and that's another one of those humps we got to get past.
Hell yeah, 5-1-1 versus us. He looks like Vanilla Vic. He goes crazy. Even the game we beat him, it took a field goal after we missed the original game winner, and Darius Slayton dropped the touchdown wide open in the end zone. So he technically should be 6-0-1 versus Washington in his career. That shit has to stop on Sunday. Do you think it stops? Do you think Washington bounces back? First home game of the Adam Peters, Dan Quinn, Jaden Daniels era.
All right, are you trying to talk to me to going out on a limb and say we're going to win this game?
Absolutely. You already know.
Well, you know what? I'm one of those people. I like to put stuff in the air, and sometimes if you put stuff in the universe, it happens. Why not get the first victory of the year at the Fed House? Why not get Dan Quinn his first victory Sunday? Why not give a game ball to Adam Peters Sunday because they got their first victory? Why not Emmanuel Forbes get his first pick of the year? Why not Jaden Daniels get his first passing touchdown of the year? Why not? Why not us? So yeah, I go out on a limb and say, yeah, we can beat the Giants. Most definitely we can win this weekend.
I agree, and I'm going to agree with you as well. I'm going to give my score prediction out yet. I'm going to do that a little bit later in the week on the channel because I'm going to crash out, and I don't know how I'm going to feel if we lose to the Giants on Sunday because
you shouldn't feel anyway because this is the process.
It is.
This is the process.
It is. I know, but that the fan in me, I just see the Giants, and it looks. I know we look bad on Sunday. That Giants team didn't score a touchdown on Sunday. They had Sam Darnold looking like Joe Namath on Sunday.
But they are a professional football team.
They are, and it's divisional, and you can throw everything out the window when it comes to the division. Hell yeah, I got a couple more for you, and I'm gonna let you out of here. You caught 21 interceptions in your career. Is there a specific interception that you hold the closest to your heart?
No, not one that I hold close to the heart because you want all of them. I call it my casket. When I put those balls in that dark room after I get those balls, I let them rest in peace. But I can say this. I had one against the Seattle Seahawks. It was a walk-off pick at the end of the game against Matt Hasselbeck, and they was trying to drive to get a score to end the game. I think with like 50 seconds, maybe a minute left in the game. And Darrell Jackson tipped the ball off his hands, and I toe tapped and intercepted the ball, ended the game, ran off the field. I'll never forget that one. It was a good one.
Okay, that's dope. And I got a quick name association game. I know, like myself, you speak fluent Game of Thrones. You're a Thrones enthusiast like myself. I'm going to call out a couple names, and I want you to call out their Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon equivalent based on who that character is. Jaden Daniels.
Oh, Jaden Daniels. I had to go with the Young Wolf.
Okay. Oh, we talking Rob Stark.
Rob Stark, yeah, the young Wolf.
Yeah, Rob Stark. Okay, I like it. To me, for Jaden, I tried to give it some nuance. I say Oberyn Martell. I know we didn't like the way that his story ended, just like Rob.
I've been saying story ended bad, just like the Young Wolf. But I said the Young Wolf because of the ascension. All right, the ascension. The quick way I think he's gonna say, you know what, I can win these battles. I can win these battles week in and week out. I don't care about who I got to go against. It's out of the family. So I said Rob Stark.
I like it. I respect that. I say Oberyn because Oberyn, like Jaden Daniels, has a rare and unique style. Like this dude is fighting with a spear, a staff, and he's fighting in a way. That boy had the mountain gone, but his hubris and his own pride took him out at the end of the day. I don't need Jaden to do the same.
But you got to know this. It's a reason why Dornish are the only ones that's never been conquered. It's a reason why.
Oh, yeah. They go crazy. Them sand snakes. Dan Quinn. Who is Dan Quinn's Game of Thrones equivalent?
Dan Quinn.
That was harder.
Dan Quinn. You know what? It's going to be somebody that's a great general. It's going to be somebody that's a great leader of men.
We go Eddard Stark, maybe. Let me get a little Ned.
I can go Eddard. I was finna say Eddard because what you see is what you get. He's honestly, that's who Dan Quinn is. So I can go Eddard Stark. I can go Papa Lannister. You know what I'm saying? Tywin. You know what I'm saying? Because the one thing about Tywin, he knew what he was going to do 10 steps ahead of everybody. He understood what was going on in his own house. All right? He understand how to get that straight and keep the stuff straight on the other side. I'm going Tywin Lannister.
Tywin Lannister, leader of the House Lannister, and they always pay their debts. Final one, and I'm going to let you get up out of here for today. Your man, your former Bulldog, the cornerback, Emmanuel Forbes. Who is his Game of Thrones parallel?
Littlefinger. You know why? You know why he's Littlefinger? Because nobody knows he's causing this war. All right? Nobody knows that behind all of these powerful armies, these castles, all this wealth, everything started from Littlefinger. All right? Everything almost ended with Littlefinger. The cat's paw dagger, that's all Littlefinger. Bram, Littlefinger.
Yep.
All right? Catelyn Stark, Littlefinger. Eddard Stark, Littlefinger. All right? So put it like this. At the end, Emmanuel Forbes, a.k.a. Littlefinger, we'll have the last laugh.
Ooh, he got Peter Baelish, Littlefinger, the ultimate player of the Game of Thrones. Him and Lord Varys, some of the best dialogue you're ever going to see in television. I'm going to go with Theon Greyjoy because that is one of the greatest redemption arcs I've ever seen in television. Currently, Emmanuel Forbes is Reek. He's Reek right now.
Do not Reek him. Do not do that. I'm not going to let you do that. Now, I'll come back with that. Another redemption story is the Hound. All right. So I give him the Hound. Nobody was liking the Hound at first, all right? Nobody was liking the Hound. But he redeemed himself and he got his revenge on his brother.
Oh, man. Game of Thrones in its prime ain't no better television, but I appreciate you for kicking it with me, my boy, Fred Smoot. What y'all got coming up on the channel and on the Washington Commanders YouTube network?
Hey, man, we got, y'all really need to check out this new thing we got going called Hell's Tales, where they go back with the older guys in the great generation when we was actually winning championships, and they recall all of these stories. I know we got our weekly things that come out, but that's one that I think a lot of people that don't know about. So check out that Hell's Tales. It's always some fun stories in there. Yeah, and your boy's on a couple of those episodes also.
Absolutely. Y'all hear the guy. Y'all heard the guy, the mouth of the South, Fred Smoot. They're doing excellent content. Him, Santana, Brian Colbert Jr., Logan Paulson, they're killing it over there. Let's hope Washington bounces back and gets to 1-1 versus the Giants this week. That's all I got for right now. Until next time, hail to the Washington Commanders. Commander Rio, out.